Let's start with a number. $500,000. In 1990, that would have bought you a mansion in most American cities. In 2026, it buys you a 3-bedroom in a suburb you literally couldn't find on a map 5 years ago. Right now, somewhere, a couple is sitting across from a mortgage broker, nodding slowly. They aren't excited. They're feeling something closer to pure dread. And they don't know if that's just new home nerves or their survival instinct screaming, "I've been that person." Most of us have or will be. Here's the deal. The math in 2026 is genuinely brutal. It's not impossible, but it's a grind. And the polite version of the math your lender shows you? That is definitely not the version you'll be living with every month. My name is Ryan. I study why two families with the exact same income end up in completely different financial universes 10 years later. If you're doing the math alone at your kitchen table at 11 p.m., this is for you. We're running the real numbers, all of them, so you can make the right call before you sign your life away. The sticker price lies. Let's talk about what a $500,000 house actually costs. Not the price on the Zillow listing. Not the glossy number the broker scribbles on the whiteboard like a magician. I'm talking about the number that hits your bank account every single month for the next 30 years. Because those two numbers are very different. And the gap between them? That's where dreams go to die. Here's how the math actually breaks down in 2026. If you put 20% down, that's $100,000 in cold hard cash. You're financing $400,000. At a 30-year fixed rate of around 7%, your principal and interest payment is approximately $2,661 a month. That's the bait. It's the smallest number in the whole equation. Then the rest of the bill shows up at the party. Property taxes at the national average, 1.1%, add another $458 a month. Homeowners insurance, toss in $150. If you put less than 20% down, add private mortgage insurance, PMI, which is basically you paying for the bank's insurance because they don't trust you, at another $225 to $375 a month. Oh, and if the house has an HOA, which, let's be honest, most 2026 suburbs do, add $200 to $800 more so someone can tell you your grass is a quarter inch too long. Run those together, and you're looking at a floor of $3,270 a month on the conservative side. It's closer to $3,800 or more if PMI and HOAs are in the mix. That's before utilities, before maintenance, before the water heater decides to explode, before the roof needs a $20,000 hug. I remember the first time I added this up. I ran the numbers 3 times because I thought I was failing second-grade math. I wasn't. The sticker price is the most misleading number in real estate, not because anyone is lying, but because it's the only number that fits on the yard sign. The income reality check. Once you know the real monthly hit, the next question is the only one that matters. How much do you actually need to earn to survive this house without quietly dismantling your life? Lenders use the 28-36 rule. The theory is that housing shouldn't exceed 28% of your gross income, and total debt should stay under 36%. In practice, to keep a $3,207 payment at or below 28%, you need a household income of roughly $140,000 a year. That puts you in the top 20% of American earners. The median U.S. household income in 2026, around $80,000. At $80,000, that $3,207 payment isn't 28% of your take-home. It's closer to 60%, which means after the mortgage and taxes, you've got about $2,400 left for everything else. Car payments, groceries, student loans, existing. I've seen the look on people's faces when they run this math. It's not panic, it's just a slow recognition that the American dream they were sold and the version the numbers describe are two different things. The bank will say you're approved. Great. But being approved by a bank and being comfortable in your living room are two different standards. The bank only cares about the first one. The system approves you right up to your breaking point. Living at your breaking point is a lot less fun than the approval letter makes it sound. The cash hurdle. Even if you have the income, there's a second wall, and it's not your salary. It's cash. 20% down on a $500K house is $100,000. Cash, liquid, sitting in your account before you can close. And that's just the app at closing costs. Lender fees, title insurance, attorney fees run another 2 to 5%. On a $400K loan, that's another $8K to $20. Then, you need 3 to 6 months of expenses in reserve, so you aren't immediately broke the moment a pipe bursts. Total it up. You're looking at $110,000 to $130,000 in cash before you own a single square foot. The median savings rate in the US is around 4.5%. At $100K income, you're saving $4,500 a year. At that rate, saving $100K takes 20 years. 20 years of perfect consistency. No job losses, no medical bills, no car repairs. I'm not being a downer. I'm saying this because nobody says it out loud, and it explains why you feel like you're doing everything right and still can't get there. The shortcuts and the cheat codes. But there are real shortcuts. FHA loans let you put down 3.5%. On $500K, that's $17,500. Much friendlier. The catch? You're stuck with PMI for the life of the loan in most cases. It doesn't disappear like a conventional loan once you hit 20% equity. Then there's the actual cheat code. VA loans. If you or your spouse served, it's 0 down and 0 PMI. On a $500 house, that's an immediate $100 you don't need in cash. It is the most powerful home buying tool in America. And it's underused because people assume the paperwork is too much. It's not. Beyond those, check for down payment assistance. HUD-approved counselors can find grants and programs that lenders won't tell you about because they don't make a commission on them. And let's be real, gift funds from family have become the secret sauce of the 2026 market. Especially in coastal cities, it's creating a split market. People with family wealth versus people starting from zero. It's not a moral judgment. It's just how the 2026 game is played. The credit score penalty. The down payment gets you in the door, but a 3-digit number decides how much you pay once you're inside. Your credit score isn't just a check-the-box thing. It's the difference between a nice life and a 30-year penalty. Side by side, a 760 score gets you around 6%. Monthly payment, $2,398. Total interest, $463,000. A 620 score, which technically passes, gets you 7.5%. Monthly payment, $2,797. Total interest, $607,000. The difference is $144,000. Paid to the bank. For the exact same house. That number stops me cold. $144,000 isn't a rounding error. That's a car. It's a college degree. It's years of retirement, all decided by a number you might not even be checking. If your score is under 700, stop browsing Zillow. Start working on your credit report. Fix the errors. Pay down the balances. Give it time. Moving from a 680 to a 740 will save you more money than almost any other move you can make. The invisible formula, DTI. Lenders watch one number even closer than your credit. Your debt-to-income ratio, DTI. They generally want your total monthly debt, including the mortgage, below 43%. Income matters, but your existing burn matters more. I know a guy earning $150K who got denied. Why? He had a $900 student loan and a $650 car payment. His DTI was over 45%. His income wasn't the problem. His car was. Most people save for the down payment first. That's backwards. Killing your monthly payments first changes what you qualify for faster than saving cash ever will. Eliminating a $650 car payment can open up an extra $80K to $100K in mortgage approval. That's just arithmetic. If you're 18 months out, the order of operations is kill the car, kill the high monthly debt, then save the cash. The sequence is the secret. Geographic arbitrage. Even if all the numbers line up, one variable changes the whole game. Where the house is. $500,000 is not a fixed experience. It depends entirely on the zip code. In Austin, Texas, $500K buys you a standard suburban house. Not a dream home, just a house that cost $250 10 years ago. In Cleveland, Ohio, 500K buys you a renovated 4-bedroom Victorian palace in a prime neighborhood. In San Jose, 500K barely qualifies as a down payment on a garage. And then there's the property tax trap. Identical houses can cost thousands more per year depending on the state line. New Jersey's tax rate is 2.2%. Hawaii's is 0.3%. On a $500 house, that's a $9,500 a year difference. That's $800 a month just for the privilege of living in Jersey. I have a friend who moved from San Francisco to Columbus, Ohio. Remote job, same salary. He calls it geographic arbitrage. I call it getting a massive raise without changing jobs. Not everyone can move, but if you have flexibility, location is the highest leverage financial lever you can pull. The genuine comfort zone. So who can actually afford a $500,000 house in 2026? Not just get approved, but actually live? The numbers say, combined income, $130K to $160K. Existing monthly debt, under $500. Credit score, 720 or higher. Cash on hand, $80K to $110, including a buffer. Emergency fund, still intact after you close. Because houses smell fear. The moment your bank account hits zero is the moment the HVAC system decides to quit. Here are the two versions of what happens next. Path A, the house poor scenario. You qualify at the absolute edge. Every month is a calculation. By year 3, the car is old and the roof is leaking. The house is technically yours, but it owns you more than you own it. Path B, the foundation. You waited, you fixed the credit, you killed the car payment. When you bought the house, fit your life instead of defining it. The house became a foundation, not an anchor. Neither path is a moral choice. They're just two different relationships with the same 4 walls. Are the buyers who are happy 10 years later? They ran the real numbers before they fell in love with the kitchen. Math first, emotion second.